Hey everybody, and welcome to part two in our house modeling series, or should I say construction modeling series, right? So I received a request to do house framing and to demonstrate how you model that in 3D. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. Okay, everybody, well, welcome back to part two in our housing slash construction series, right? Now, last video we did rain gutters and how to approach modeling those. In part two, this part we're going to look at wood framing for houses. This is a request video. Somebody is doing a construction site and wants to have a semi-finished house on the property. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, okay, let's get started. Now, the couple of ways you can approach this, you can start with a concrete slab, you can start with kind of concrete pillars, and we're going to go with that. It's going to be more like a cabin style thing, yeah? So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these, and we're not going to go super detailed on it because it's going to be something that's going to be in the background, but we don't have to keep it low poly, so that's fine. So we have that. What we're going to do is we're going to right click at object mode, hit W, hold down X, and let's see if I think we're just going to use it on the corners here. So if we're going to use the grid as a reference, this guy needs to be much bigger, okay? So let's do that, and then jump to our top, F to frame, and that's right, let's do that. We're going to Control D to duplicate, W to move, hold down X, and let's put one right there, and then hit Shift D, that's fine. We'll take all of them, Control D to duplicate, W to move, hold on X, we'll put one right there, and then we'll hit Shift D and put one right there. So that would basically be the footprint for the cabin, yeah? Let's take all of these and just bring that up a little. And there you go. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create some beams. So we'll take a polygon cube, we'll move that up. We'll hit R to give it some thickness, and let's have a look here. Okay, we're gonna push that in a little bit, and then we'll hit W, we'll move it down, and what we'll do is we'll hold down X and move it over here, so it's easier to duplicate over. There you go. Control D to duplicate, W to move, hold down X, and hit Shift D. Now, we're going to go to the top. We're going to deal with the length of these guys. Should have done that before, but that's okay. We're going to hit R. We're going to pull that out to about there, I would say. Let's have a look. And we don't want to go that far. Go back a little bit. And there you go. That would be fine. Yep. Okay, next step, we're going to take boards. So we'll take another cube. We'll hit W, we'll pull that up, and we're going to hit R, we're going to stretch that out, like so. Jump to our top, bring it in, 4 wireframe mode so we can see it better. And let's make that precise. Let's take that, let's hit W and hold down X, sorry. Hold down X, and we'll put that one there, and we'll put that one right there. There you go. Now, thickness wise, let's see, we're gonna push this in a little bit, like so. That would be about right. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna push that down. And that's not bad, and then we'll hold down X and we'll move it to the back. Okay, and let's get that properly aligned. There you go. And I'm thinking we're gonna do it like this. And once you got one of these, you're basically good, but Just to have an idea, yeah? Okay. Alrighty. Now, because I'm not going to bevel these, I want to have an extremely small opening between them, so you can see that they're boards, right? So Control D to duplicate, W to move, and a very, very small gap between the two. And then we're going to hit Shift D and move that over, right? Now, as you can see, we're missing just a little bit of space there. There's an easy fix for that. We're just going to drag select it, and then we're going to deselect this and this, hit 4 so we can see what's going on. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. Then we'll move the pivot point, and we'll move it up. So we'll hit the Insert key, we'll move it up, and we'll hold on V, so it's at the end there. Hit the Insert key again, and now if we hit R, it will start to stretch in that direction. And I'm trying to be very precise about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that control much bigger, which will give me more control over that. There you go. And then hit the minus key to go back, like that. Yeah. All right. So we're going to hit 5. We're going to go back. So that's what we have so far. Yeah. Okay, that looks okay so far. Yeah. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to borrow this guy. Actually, not that guy. What we'll do is we'll create a new one. We'll make those controls a bit smaller. We'll bring that up. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit R, and we're going to pull that out, and we're going to turn that into a board, basically. That would be about right, yeah. After frame, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit a W. We're going to push it over here, and there you go. We're going to increase the size of our controls, then we're going to hit R. We're going to bring it in a little bit. Like that. That looks about right. We're going to hit W. We're going to bring this down. Like so. Alrighty. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it up like so, W to move up, and then from here we need to decide how tall it's going to be. Right? Now that's a bit tall, so we're going to go in here, vertex. Now keep in mind, this is only the height without the point at the top there, yeah? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here to object mode. We're going to move it to the end. After frame, let's bring that out to about there. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this guy over. So Control D to duplicate, W to move over. Let's do, I would say about so. And then we're going to hit Shift D and work our way over and see what we need to correct, right? Okay, so what we're going to do here is what we did. Oops. What we're going to do here is we're going to drag select these. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. Hit the Insert key, hold down V, and move the pivot point to the end. So now if we hit R, and let me make that control a bit smaller. If we hit R, we can kind of bring that in like so until we have a proper fit. Maybe a little bit further. And if you can't be precise enough with that, hit the plus key to make, again, the controller a bit bigger, which will give you more control. There you go. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to go in here. We're going to take this guy, and we're going to Control D to duplicate, W to move up, like so. And again, let me make those controls a bit smaller. All right, and the idea here is we're going to put up the walls first, and then we're going to create openings for windows and doors and that kind of thing, yeah? Okay, we're going to duplicate this guy. We're going to hit W. We're going to move that to, I would say, about there. That'd be about right, yeah? And then we're going to take this guy without that and without that, and we're going to group it. So we can now duplicate it, and we'll hit W. We'll move that over here. I have to frame that. Let's bring that out to about there. And I need to get the bottom piece as well. Let me just go back. Apparently I missed that. All right, looks good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that again. E to rotate, hold on J, and hopefully I got the group here. Yeah, that's fine. Pivot point is a bit out of whack, but that's okay. We're going to go to modify and center pivot. W, we're going to bring that in here. And let's bring that in. Let's have a look. Okay, we need to do some adjustments. So let's grab this. And then we're gonna deselect this. Like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can scale this out a little bit. Let me get a good view here. And once again, we are going to, come on, make sure that we got this guy there as well. Okay, group it, make the controls a bit longer. Okay, that looks fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move, and move it over here. All right. Now that we have that, we can go in and make windows and doors and so forth, and stairs and a roof and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. Now this is going to be our front here, so that's where we want our main door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, take this guy, go into vertex mode. That's something so freaky in Maya. I don't know why that happens, but it does. Yeah. So we're going to go and pull that up to about there. That's going to be our main door. Then we want a window, of course. So what we'll do is we'll borrow this guy, Control D to duplicate, W to move down. And let's see, that will be our window pretty much. Yeah. So what we need to do here is we need to put in a couple of cuts. So we'll do insert edge loop. Let's set it to manual so we can put one in here. And we can put one in here. Q on the keyboard, go to face mode, delete those. And then our window, let's see, we want that to be here. So we'll take this in object mode, insert edge loop. Let's put one right there and right there and right there and right there. Q on the keyboard, face mode, delete, and there you have it, object mode. So we now have a main door, we have a window. Now you're not going to have tons of windows and such in a model like this, but that's okay. We'll put a window in the side and then we'll focus on the roof. Yeah. So I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to, and actually let's go round and do that. Why not? So we got 2, we got 3. We're going to Control D to duplicate, W to move down. Let's align them with these guys. after frame, for wireframe mode, pick it up a little bit. There you go. All right. So we got that. We got the door to window. We'll put a window in here. Let's go into insert edge loop. And let's put one in right here. Q on keyboard, right click face, drag select, delete. So got a window there, door there. There we go. Now let's focus on the trusses on the top, and for that we'll take let's borrow one of these guys. Let's go to object mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to hit W to move it up a little bit, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it on its side like so. All right, now we need to make this a bit longer. So we're gonna hit R and we're gonna pull that out like so. And then we need to kind of figure out how high we want it to be, but make this a little bit longer, not too much, like that, yeah? So we're gonna Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold on J, like that. Let me make that control a bit smaller. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna push that up like so. And then we're going to go right click vertex, drag select, and bring that way down to, I would say, about there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now from here what we need to do is we need to make these guys on the side there. So Control D to duplicate, W to move up, after frame, and we're going to go over here. Let's bring that down a little bit, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag select these, and we're going to push that down here. But of course we need to bring that in, yeah? So let's find that right angle. And the best way to do that would be from here. Okay. So let's clean this up. And we're holding down V. And let's bring that up. And then we'll extend this a little bit. That'll be about right. Yep. Okay, we're going to go to object mode, modify center pivot. I'm going to take this guy and we're going to copy it over, rotate, hit W, move that, like so. And then you want some cross beams in here. So we'll take this guy, Control D to duplicate. Let's go to modify and center pivot. Let's move that over to about there, I would say, after frame. And let me just clean this up just a little bit. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this down, and it's going to be at an angle, right? So we're going to take this, and then we'll take this, and we're going to take this guy and get that in here. That would be about right. Let's have a look. All right, and then we'll take one of these and Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it around, hit W, move it over. And that looks all right. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go in here and we're gonna drag select this guy. Let's go to mesh and combine, and then we're gonna lower this. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna bring that in. Let's get that to where it needs to be, and let's just clean this up a little bit. So we're gonna go in here to vertex, we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna hit W, and let's just clean that up a little bit. Do the same over here. Looks a lot cleaner that way. Okay, so make sure this is one object. It is, yeah. Cool. Let's make sure it's set at the end there. Yeah, cool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move. Let's move it over to about there. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, and maybe one more. And then we're going to get these aligned properly. And we're going to do that by selecting this, going to Mesh and Combine. We'll move the pivot point to the end. And then we're going to hit R, and we're going to kind of push that in. And we're going to need to make that control a lot bigger to do that. So let's see, that seems to be all right. Let's have a look. Looks all right. Cool. So now that we have that, what we can do is we can put a little piece of wood between the trusses, and then we can make the stairs, and then we're done. Yeah. So yeah, we'll take a section of board. We can basically borrow anything. We're gonna hit W to move it up. Let's make that control smaller. Let's move that up. Either rotate, hold down J, flip it on its side like so. And then we're going to go into the middle, hit W, hold down X, and get it right there. We're going to hit R, we're going to stretch it out, and we're going to have it stick out a little bit. Hit W, bring that down. And you can choose to have that stick out or not. It's I've seen it done, I've seen it not done, so it's kind of your choice. And you can keep it level if you like. Yeah. So that's that. Now we need some stairs. Okay, for the stairs, let's take one of these. Control D to duplicate. Let's pull this out. F to frame. That'll be about right. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to change the width. So it's kind of hard to see there. Let's go in here and let's set it up. Get a vertex. All right, let's have a look from the front. Now we can see a little bit better what's going on. Yeah, looks all right. We can, we can bring it in a little if you like, if you want the dimensions to stay in here, like so. All right, looks good. And then we're going to make our stairs. Now let's make it a bit longer. So let's hit W and kind of extend that board a little bit. And then from there, we're going to make our stairs. Maybe even a bit further than that even. All right, so we got that. We're going to go in here, Control D to duplicate, W to move down, and then move forward. Yeah, that's fine. We'll hit Shift D and Shift D, and that's fine. That's fine for ground level. And just to check, we'll take a little grid here. And you can see that's a good step height. Yeah. And then from there, we need to put in the frame for the stairs. So for that, we'll take a polygon cube. Once again, let me get rid of this. We'll hit W. Pull that out. Let's scale that. Push it in nice and thin. Scale it back down. We're going to go into this view right here. Let's hit W. Let's bring that in here. Let's hit 4 for wireframe mode. I'm going to hit R. I'm going to scale this in quite a bit. W to move that up. So we're going to need some spacing for this guy. So let's do this. We're going to go to vertex mode. And let's move that up like so. And then we're going to need to extend this a couple of times. Yeah. So we're going to go to insert edge loop. Let's set it to manual. That's fine. And then we'll put one in right there. And we'll put one in right there. And we'll put one in right there. Okay. Q on the keyboard. Let's go in here. F to frame. And again, this is a bit thick, but that's okay. Face, face, face. Control E to extrude. W to pull out. Let's check it from this view right here. So we want it to go to, I would say, about there. That'd be about right. Then we're going to go back in here. 1 and 2. Extrude. Pull that out again to about there, and then we'll take the bottom one, Control E to extrude, W to push out to about there, I would say. Yeah. Then we're going to go in here, we're going to go to object mode, we're going to move it in. I have to frame that, and we want the distance to be equal, of course. So let's bring this in a little bit. And hit R. To about there. Duplicate it. Move it over. And there we have our stairs. And I think we are good. Okay. So nothing too complicated, but it's a lot of fun to do, and especially if you are working on something like a construction site, it's a lot of fun, right? So what I'm going to do here, just to make it complete, is move this section back a little bit. And what I mean by that is this right here. This can go right there. We'll make it look a little bit better. Like so, yeah. So this is one way to approach it. Hopefully it was fun. If it was, hit that like button. If you don't want to miss out on future videos, then please subscribe, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.